Dear friends, welcome to another episode of FWD Talks. I'm Dr. Anita Bajaj. I was associated with ICR in 1990 up to 2007. Topic of my presentation is decoding mind rubrics. I'm thankful, grateful, and blessed to have been invited to this platform. Objectives of the presentation are perceiving the exact core feeling of the patient through objective case taking, converting patient's expression into repertorial language. This step is very important. Understanding the finer meanings of rubrics, expanding and refining the understanding of remedy through rubrics. Dear friends, mind rubrics is a hidden treasure, and to unravel it, we have to understand meaning of each and every word in the rubric and in patient's expression, and try to understand the context and application of each and every rubric, and also understand the patient's expression in common language, interpreting language which is spoken, body and non-verbal communication, giving meaning to all this, that is speech, behavior, action, gestures and expression. This we will do through the sharing of two cases. My first case is of desperate housewife. She's a 28-year-old girl, young, dynamic. She's working in finance marketing. She's a professional, suffering from bronchial asthma from childhood with any seasonal change or stress. She's a very independent, liberal thinker, enjoying life, eating, drinking, and going out. She has a very active social life. And from a middle-class Darji family, which is quite liberal, though financially middle class, she comes to a family, Jain family, which is rich, but they are very orthodox and stringy. And the family is of 3 generations, that is mother-in-law, father-in-law, grandmother-in-law, grandfather-in-law, and husband. She left job for marriage. Her role now is restricted to the role of housewife, a daughter-in-law serving all. Because of no job, no earning, surrounded by creeping old people vying for her attention. Everybody, they didn't have a daughter, so everybody is, having different types of expectations from her, which she has to satisfy. So her mental state, because of all these factors, is bored, because she is living with old people who are always gossiping and they want her attention. She is unhappy with her life because she has left her job and she is not finding a new job. State and convert it into rubric language, we see the kingpin rubric, which covers overall state, is delusion, business, ordinary they are pursuing. So from a finance marketing professional to a mediocre housewife or a daughter-in-law, this is the state which leads her to ennui. We have a rubric ennui afternoon, which is a single remedy rubric of Plumbum Met. Afternoon is a peak of career or youth. And at that state, they are going into ennui because of any reason. Second rubric is her ego, due to which she will not ask for money from her husband, so egotism. So if we combine all these rubrics, plus if we explore the disposition, which is, she wants to earn, she wants to work, and she wants to go out, have a very social, active life, going out, eating, drinking, and selfish to the extent she used to feel that nothing should happen to grandfather-in-law, otherwise her trip to Bali will get cancelled. So such hedonistic activities to beat ennui. So her adaptation is to beat ennui, we have to go in all those activities. Can't retaliate to in-laws as they are elder. This shows her value system. So she's sensitive to moral impressions. And she acts as if busy to avoid being called by in-laws. So at a subtle level, if you see, it can be named as deceitful and shade of feigning. So if you combine all these rubrics, we come to Plumbum Met. So delusion, you see all these rubrics, which I have already talked about. So she was given Plumbum Met 200 infrequently. From 26th February, when the Plumbum Met was released, her complaints started improving. Mental state was fluctuating. She was sad when alone. That this is not me, that state was continuing, and mood swings were there. But at the level of body, her RS had improved considerably. Her breathlessness episodes had reduced, and she was hardly getting any breathlessness. It used to remain more like simple cold and cough whenever there was a precipitating factor. She had allergic rashes before, so that those rashes also had improved. Her menses, she has PCOD, so menses scanty intermittent spotting is there. But this is not in her problem definition, so she doesn't report regularly. She reports mainly whenever there is an RS acute. So on 16th 6, her acute was lingering, so I shifted to Plumamet 1M, and after that her mind also improved. She was happy, and she started business of exhibitions, holding exhibitions of branded clothes, to which she got very good response, and she was very happy. And later on, she also got a good job, so she was quite happy. And post this, there were no major issues. So this is the case. Now we go to another case, which is at a similar state. The situation is similar. This lady is also a young lady of similar age group. I have named her agony of newly married girl because she is actually going through pain. It is not like the first case where she was bored, but here pain is there. She is suffering from arthritis. She has been to orthopedic surgeons and she has got investigated, and it was diagnosed as seronegative rheumatoid arthritis, where she comes with joint pains. So this patient's life situation, we will see she is a Muslim girl, dynamic, smart, and all-rounder, because she comes from a family of a single parent. Her mother is a divorcee and she is a beautician, so she is a working lady. So household responsibilities have fallen on her from young age. So she has developed accordingly. She is a dynamic, smart, all-rounder, capable of running household. And she has failed all crises efficiently. Like recently, her brother got divorced, so she took up law and became a lawyer to fight his case and to bring him out of that crisis. In this journey, she never gave importance to looks. Her mother is very beautiful. So she thought she could not match her mother in that. So she tried to compensate through taking up responsibilities and performing. Now this lady was proposed by a boy who saw her in the court. He saw her as a smart, efficient girl, and he proposed to her. Though he was little skeptical because of her average looks, whether his family will accept her or not, but then he went ahead with the marriage. They got married. Family too complied. And then after marriage, within 1 week, this lady came down with arthritis or the joint pains. She felt sick. The reason being, there was a lot of criticism from husband's family. They thought that she did not know how to talk, she did not know how to dress up, and newly married girl, she should be behaving in this way and that way. So because of this criticism, she came down with the arthritis. Now in this whole story, being quite emotional, I was not able to find the core, because before marriage life and this after marriage was little different. So first meeting, I couldn't come to a remedy. Then second time, fortunately, I saw her coming towards my clinic from the building gate. So what I saw was she had a lot of difficulty in getting down from the rickshaw. She was smiling at me, but there was a lot of, she was walking deliberately with short steps and limping. And I was really surprised because I had not seen that type of pain in the first case taking. So when she entered, I asked her, is the pain so much? Then she told me laughingly that she was not able to even pull up her panties, not able to tie pajama strings. So she was dependent for small tasks. She was taking help from husband or mother-in-law. She was not able to even, take a tumbler or brush her teeth. So I found it very, different from whatever judgment I had. So there was a discrepancy between objective signs of disease, that is, there were no inflammatory signs also, and the presentation. So this discrepancy struck me. And why was she smiling? So if the person is in pain, that smile will also be a painful smile. So this discrepancy, because of this discrepancy, I took exaggerating symptoms, feigning sick and deceitful. So from this, I came to Plumbum again. I gave her Plumbum and 200, I gave her Plumbum 203 doses for 3 consecutive days on 30th September. She came to me on 7th October after a week, and she was very happy. Her response was very positive. She felt energy like a horse. She said, I bless you every morning, because morning was a time when she used to find it very difficult to get up. Pains had considerably reduced and got more localized and more of soreness rather than the acute pain. So she was overall 60% better. So I repeated the same medicine in the same way. Next follow-up on 14th October, she came with aggravation. So at this point, there was precipitating factor also, because she had a lot of guests in the family, and so she had cooked a lot, she had worked in water, and she had also slipped from bike, so there was pain in back and foot, and she felt as if she was walking on stones, though other symptoms were better. So it was a mixed type of response, so I was confused, and it's better always to wait when you are confused, especially in autoimmune disorders. So I tried to wait. I gave her placebo. On 23rd 10, she was much better. She was able to lift 2-3 kgs, even a small bucket, and overall the response was better. Then 30th, because of cold breeze, her joint pain started again. So I gave her Plumbum caution. So after that, she was on Plumbum at 30 infrequently, and then 200 infrequently. 200 was given mainly because her pains had subsided, but she was complaining more of hair fall. And her focus had shifted from the disease to a very, simple complaint of hair fall. So she's much better. Her joint pains are almost 90% better. She has no complaints. Now the problem definition is of conception. She gets regular menses, but there are a lot of problems in the family because of mother-in-law complaining to father-in-law about her, and then father-in-law confronting her husband, and husband removing all the anger on her, that what I saw in you is not there, that spark is not there in you now. So they are struggling through the IPR issues, but overall she is doing much better. So these two Plumbum cases, in her, the second case, the rubrics which I also took were business incapacity for, because she was not at all, capable of managing her own things also on her own. Deceitfulness, delusion, criticized she is, because before marriage she was a smart, dynamic, performing girl, and here everybody is criticizing her for the things which she never considered important, about her looks, about her dressing and all that. Delusion, disease, incurable she has, because she had been to orthopedic doctors also, and she was given a lot of medication. She was discouraged because of the illness, and delusion everything turned, because before marriage life had totally, taken 180-degree shift to a girl of a cripple. That is why the picture I had shown was of dynamic lady becoming a cripple with crutches. And this illness is becoming her escape mechanism from the criticism which she's facing at each step. So we try to compare and contrast these two cases. Working professional, they are both young, dynamic, and independent performing ladies, but the adaptation is different. One person is adapting to this boring situation of being a housewife, trying to find stimulation outside, and the second person is finding the escape mechanism into the illness. We go further to source books, that is Kent Materia Medica shows the Plumbum establishes a hysterical state in the economy and inclination to deceive, to feign sickness. So this is the second case. We go to other sources. This is Radar Keynotes, where the patient has no enjoyment in ordinary things, high livers, people who have been selfish and possessive and have become accustomed to these things, and they are self-satisfied. So for killing this ennui, they get into scandalous behavior, gambling and all that. So there is a rubric called brooding over forbidden things in Plumbum. So these two types of adaptation expectations can be there. Here we see high livers. Again, middle class also talks about that, ordinary life and seeking pleasure outside or through feigning. So overall understanding of Plumbum we come to is delusion. Castles and palaces sees superiority and cries. This is the beginning of the Plumbum when it is at prime, or being a Metal of Kings series, it has a lot of ego. It has good qualities of being industrious, mathematics, ability, emotions predominated by intellect, and at the same time they are also in moral impressions and injustice cannot support. They are involved in business. So you will get a lot of business rubrics in Plumbum. So they are basically successful businessmen who also enjoy materialistic pleasures. And then when there is a downfall, when there's, because of any reason, you know, it can be father has started a business, now sons are taking over, new staff has come in, new managers have come in, mother-in-law is sidelined by a daughter-in-law, or in this particular state, daughter-in-law losing a job and coming to live as a housewife. And then they develop this type of delusions, ordinary business pursuing, delusion working machines and ennui in the afternoon. And finally, they'll end up into the morbidity where they have the symptom of groping in dark, where they want to find relief because the disease is not a purely somatic disease. So they have to dig deep into their subconscious. Begging and shrieking are their modes of asking for help. Feigning sick, exaggerating, deceitfulness, their deceitfulness is restricted at this level only, not like animal deceitful where they will, you know, try to trap others. Business incapacity and escape attempts to, and then it goes further into sadness, anguish, and suicidal paranoia. So we will compare with the closely coming remedies where lycopodium comes very close because of the performing person, intellectual, emotions predominated by intellect, egotism. Lyco is in the rubric manipulative, power, desire, diplomatic, ambitions means employed any. So by hook or crook, they will achieve what they want. Reasoning power is more, perseverance is there. So they won't go into morbid states so easily. And morbidity comes when there is performance and position in society is affected. For them, position in society is very important. Plumbum needs mental stimulation through work or indulgences. Second remedy which comes close is Sepia. Sepia is intellectual, independent, and ambitious, but it is in cares and worries. So they are a lot of they are duty conscious people who care a lot for their family, and they will land into the morbidity only when there is no reciprocation. Platina, again of King series, very close, egoistic, haughty, and superior, but Platina is again in ambition, means employed any, and Platina is not in moral impressions. So they will go into begging, but in begging will also be of the type as if, you know, they are obliging you by taking your help. So it is in delusion, help calling for. So they will not beg like a beggar, like Plumbum. Desperateness is not that much. So attitude of I can manage on my own is there. Feigning of Tarantula. Now feigning of Tarantula is for pleasure. They want to avoid responsibilities and duties and live into pleasurable life. That is the reason they feign, and they want to be petite. So they will be, you know, their deceitfulness is like they will create a dark picture of the circumstance to gain sympathy. So Plumbum goes into feigning because they cannot perform to their standard. So this is all. My gratitude to all my teachers at ICR, Dr. Sehgal sir for exploring the colorful world of mind rubrics, Milind Rao sir and teachers at HHF, and special thanks to Dr. Kumar who went through my PPT and did a lot of corrections, Dr. Bipin for giving me creative inputs, and Dr. KU for coordinating the recording. My friends who motivated me and are part of my journey. Thank you.